That is tis better. Tis better. Okay, where are you, Princesa? Princesa, here you are. Hello.
Yes, I do hear you now.
You do hear me now. I'm going to turn you down. You are very loud. Okay, there we go. How are you? I'm so
Good.
sorry. This is what I get for not streaming for like 5 weeks and then trying to have a book club stream. It's really my fault, honestly.
Oh, it's okay. It's fine.
It
I'm
happens.
already at the. Let's see if my camera works for a moment here.
Oh,
I'm
hello.
in this beautiful place
Oh, man.
where we practiced. Right.
Yeah.
I'll show you the instruments real quick.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm getting a
Most people
tour.
went back home for the first time.
Oh,
I play that one there.
how cool.
I'm here
I
today.
love it. And I love your face, Princesa. It's so good to see you.
Long time no see my light face, right?
Yes, I love seeing your face. Um,
I apologize for the background noise because there's a road
oh,
there and sometimes people drive really fast.
can't hear anything. Cannot hear
All
anything.
right.
So you're
Okay.
good. Awesome. Well, thank you for your patience, guys. I'm so sorry about that. But I'm excited to talk about today's book. Umo, did you get to finish it as well? Um, I read it yesterday. I read it in one sitting.
I,
Very easy read.
wow.
Right. Um,
Yeah.
but to
At
catch
least
every
it hadn't ended though.
Oh, I know. I know. I didn't digest it all, but I finished it. Okay, we'll digest together, Imo. We'll digest together. We got this. Um, okay, so a quick synopsis for anybody who has not read the book. We were discussing A Prayer for the Crown Shy, which is book number 2 in the Monk and Robot series by Becky Chambers. After touring the rural areas of Panga, sibling Dex, a team monk of some renown, and Mosscap, a robot sent on a quest to determine what humanity really needs, turn their attention to the villages and cities of the little moon they call home. They hope to find the answers they seek while making new friends, learning new concepts, and experiencing the entropic nature of the universe. Becky Chambers' new series continues to ask, in a world where people have what they want, does having more even matter? They're going to need to ask it a lot. So, that is the little synopsis. And Princess, if you don't mind, I'll just go ahead and get my review out of the way, if that's okay.
Yes, please.
Sounds good. All right. Umo is ready as well. So here, no, see, I always start with I have to stop starting with We're going to start over. Everybody's ready for my review. Here is my review for A Prayer for the Crown Shy by Becky Chambers. I did rate this one 4 out of 5 stars. And I know I rated the first book 5 out of 5 stars, but this one came in at 4 out of 5 for me. I think it'll make sense as I get through the review. The quote that I chose to start my review with is actually a partial quote, and I think you will all remember where this came from. They held vigil as something that had never existed before and never would again, ceased its struggling and came to an end. And that was really powerful for me. This
Ah,
Tiff's alarm is
that's like
going.
the saddest part of the book.
I know. Here, hang on one second. Tiff's alarm is going off, and he's not here. So 1 second. Deal with that. Okay, that's annoying. All right, now I have to start over because I need this to all be in one section for me. All right. Set an alarm. I wish. I wish. Okay, I'm going to start over, guys. I'm sorry. I need this to be all in one chunk so that I can put it on TikTok. By the way, do you see how absolutely destroyed my skin is? I have sun radiation poisoning, is what that is. Look at that nonsense. I forgot. Look at this is my normal color. My normal color, my radiation poisoning. My normal color, my radiation poisoning. It hurts so bad.
I know where it's sunscreen?
I forgot to. I went on a motorcycle ride yesterday and I wear pants, right? Long pants. And I had my full face helmet on. And I was wearing a t-shirt. And I thought I had sprayed on the sunscreen before I left. And I just must not have. I must have forgotten to. I remember thinking it, but I don't remember actually going to the closet and doing it. So I must have just forgotten. And you know, you're on the road in just all in the sun. I wasn't wearing my gloves either, so my poor hands are just destroyed. Whoops. It's fine. It's good. I am baked. I am baked, but not in a fun way. Not in a fun way baked, but that's okay. It'll fade. I'm lotioning the crap out of it. White girl problems, I guess. All right. Sorry to have to start over on you, but we're going to get this out of the way. I'll get it out of the way for you. Here is my review for A Prayer for the Crown Shy by Becky Chambers. I did rate the first book 5 out of 5 stars, but the second book came in at 4 out of 5 stars for me. It just, you'll get it in the review. I won't spoil my review for you. The quote that I chose to start my review with is a partial quote from a sentence, and I think everybody who has read the book will remember this part very, very well. They held vigil as something that had never existed before and never would again, ceased its struggling and came to an end. And that was really powerful for me in so many different ways. I actually had a friend who was fishing that day and telling me about their fishing adventure, and it's just like, no, sobbing. It was a day. So this follow-up to A Psalm for the Wild-Built was in many ways an even more enjoyable read for me. It felt easier to settle into with the same thoughtful and philosophical themes, but a smoother flow that made the journey feel a little lighter and a little more lived in. Dex and Mosscap's continued travels gave me more of what I loved from the first book: quiet moments, deep questions, and that steady companionship between two very different beings just trying to figure things out. The writing is still warm, cozy, and full of gentle wisdom, with so many lines that I found myself pausing to sit with, including the quote I started with. That being said, the message felt very much the same as the first book, and while it is beautifully told, and I argue a little bit more beautifully told in the second book, it didn't bring a lot of new depth to the story. It's more of just a continuation than an evolution. It did leave me reflecting in a very good way, in the very best of ways, reminding again of the value in simply being, asking questions, and allowing ourselves to not have all the answers. If you're in the mood for a thoughtful, quiet read that asks big questions in a small, meaningful way, this is definitely the book for you. That 1 star for me is just that this book didn't add anything for me. It's kind of just told the same story in a different way. And I think it could have been 1 book. I think she could have really looked at making this into 1 book, and it would have been way more powerful than the 2 separate books, in my opinion. So now that I'm saying it out loud, maybe a 4 was unfair, but it didn't add anything for me, but I still really enjoyed it. It was an easy read. Like I said, I sat down and I read it in 1 morning. I did find myself pausing for a lot of different quotes. I unfortunately did not have my Kindle version. I had to go to the library and get a physical book, if you guys could believe that. And so I don't have all of my highlighted quotes because I'm sure not highlighting the library's book. But there were just...
I think it actually fits the vibe of the book. You're reading the physical copy, you know?
Fair. That, yes. It's a vibe for this book. So all in all, I did enjoy the book. 4 out of 5 stars. It's definitely worth it for a very thoughtful, philosophical, and super cute read. All right, Umo. What's your rating? Princesa, hit me with your rating. Hit me with your shot. Serenity! I love you! 53 beautiful months!
Serenity.
Thank you, my dear friend. I miss you. Sorry, Princesa.
Oh, don't worry. Hi, Serenity. Long time no talk.
Uh-huh. All right, Quintessa, I'm sorry. Go.
I see so many quotes on this book, many more than the previous one. Um, and in my opinion, this book touched. Uh, how can I put this into words? It touched a part of me that I don't usually have the opportunity to talk to other people about.
Right.
And it's the life of other beings. I think this book, the, uh, the main difference between the first one and the second one for me is that the first one was more focused on human life, even though we only had Dex as a human in the story.
Right.
And in the second one, even though we had many humans interacting with Moscow, I saw nature much more present, all different
Mhm.
types of lives in this story. So uh, that that was a positive for me. I rate this 4.5 because I
Mm.
was not happy with the ending. I
Yeah.
It was so abrupt for me. I felt sad when I finished. That's why I take a star.
I
And I searched
agree.
for like the third book or anything. There's She's not gonna write anything else. That's the end.
This is it. This is it. No, the ending felt so out of place, right? It didn't make sense.
Mm. I think it's actually the point though. Like uh, both books, I highlighted the very first sentence you wrote. The first one, I'm not sure if I remember. It was something like, for those who
Oh,
are looking for a
yes.
quiet place, something like this, looking for quietness, looking for peace. And then
Yes.
this one,
Oh,
well,
for anybody who
let me,
could use a break.
for anybody who could use a break, exactly.
Yes.
And this one was for everyone who doesn't know where to go, something like this. Let me check.
Yes, for anybody who doesn't
Um,
know where they're going.
yeah, it's for everybody who doesn't know where they're
I,
going.
I actually had snapped a picture of this page, um, and had Snapchatted it to a bunch of my friends with no context because I liked that quote. I also Snapchatted for just like a little funny thing. Where is it? I had also Snapchatted this quote, and I wish Sarka was here because Sarka would get a kick out of this. Let me see if I can find it. Um, Gosh, where is it? Um, no, this is too late in the book. Let me go find it. It was before the coastlands. It was, oh, here. Wait. Oh, here. So, um, Dex had spent the night with Leroy, and Mosscap had spent the night with
Okay.
Amelia. Okay. And Mosscap comes back, and Dex and Leroy spent the night together. Okay. And Mosscap was like reading books about what that meant and learning and was so excited. And he brings up, in some of the books I read last night, people make each other breakfast after having sex, but it's not universal. Dex threw Mosscap a look and lowered their voice as far as it would go. What kind of books does Miss Amelia collect? Oh, entirely pornography, Mosscap said. It was very educational. And I just loved that so much. And Sarka would get a kick out of that because Sarka and I talk about our smut books a lot. And I was like, yeah, that's true about me too. So Mosscap would have a good time in my library. But to think
Yeah.
about a being, whether human or not, learning about humanity for the first time, it was interesting to think about these things, right, from Mosscap's perspective of learning how humans interact and all of that good stuff, right? So,
Yeah, I have so many quotes here. Like the first one, um, when they finally get into the road and Moscap see the signs, and he says, "There's no spontaneity in your journey, then, is there? If you're focused on moving from sign to sign, there's no
mhm.
opportunity for happy accidents. But I suppose I've rarely had clear destinations in my mind before now. The wilds, I simply go places."
Yes, that's a good one.
So, and um, and this book for me is about how disconnected humans are from nature.
Right.
Even I forgot the name, their name, who were also fishing.
Oh,
Mix.
um, gosh, wait, hold on.
Hey, right?
Yes, I know who you're talking about. Um, where did that go? That was the coast. That was after Miss Avery. Gosh, I can't remember names. I'm so bad at this. It was before the city. Oh, before the family. Oh, the family interactions were interesting, to say the
Yeah,
least.
Avery. Avery.
Avery.
Yeah.
Oh, that fish. That fish
Mm-hmm.
story. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do
Oh,
it. To think about it in
everything.
that perspective, not just not just killing something, right? But to put it into the
Mm-hmm.
perspective of this is something that had never existed before and it will never exist again. Wow. Right?
Yeah.
Because I wild. I had to put the book down for a few minutes after that quote. I was like, I'm gonna go cry in a corner. It's okay. Um, but that's for humanity, and even Mosscap talked about how the robots would only repair themselves certain ways for a certain period of time before those parts were recycled into a new robot, and eventually they would go extinct because they would run out of parts to make entire robots, and that they're just okay with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
And like even the robots who were definitely not made with mm, within nature, they were created by us. They still accept the
mhm,
finality of life,
right,
and humans are always try to run away from that.
exactly,
Beginning with the creation of medicine. Yeah.
right. Well, and I also found it interesting when Dex was explaining the Pebble system, the PEB system, to
Ah,
Mosscap,
yeah.
and how Dex tried to discuss about how it wasn't capitalistic, and that if somebody went into the negative, that was okay, but if they went into the negative, it was because something was wrong. So, in my mind, I was thinking, so it's not okay if they go into the negative, because if they go into the negative and you immediately think, oh, something's wrong at home, they're injured, they're sick, those were all negative reasons that somebody would go into the negative. It is not just intrinsically okay to be in the negative. And what does that mean in terms of productivity? Like, I get where they're coming from in the sense of you don't want to just take, 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 take. But if you are required to give without somebody thinking something's wrong with you, that does start to lead towards a more capitalistic society. So I thought that
Yeah.
was a really interesting way to try to rip humanity away from our tendencies to want to have balance. If I do something for you, you better do something for somebody. And it's just the same book with a different cover, right? So I found that to be
Yeah.
interesting. Now, Umo,
I
where did
agree.
your 1 star go? Because Umo also said 4 out of 5 stars, Princesa.
Mm-hmm.
So where did that
Uma also rated four
stop?
last time, right?
Sorry?
Uma almost also rated four last book, right?
Yes, you did. Yes. I rated it 5. At least I think I did. Let me double check. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know what
rated.
I do. What do I know? I did. I rated it 5 out of 5. With the quote, I started with this is still my favorite quote out of the 2 books. So I started a psalm for the Wild Built review with "You are allowed to just live. That is all most animals do." Which once again, that was a Mosscap quote, and I feel like the PEB system is just another thing that the humans put into place that doesn't allow you to just live. right?
Mhm.
There needs to be some sort of gain by somebody. Now, they're not saying if I do something for you, you have to do something for me specifically, but there has to be some sort of gain to society for you to earn the right to just exist, right?
Yeah.
So I found that interesting. Like it almost feels like humanity could never get away from that. It carried on well from the first one that I gave 4-2, I think, but didn't leap up into a higher experience. Exactly, Emo. Exactly. You said what I said in less words. I really was hoping we were going to expand on these concepts, not just continue to discuss these same concepts. Right? That's kind of where my rating came from.
Well, what expansion would you make? Not like writing a story, but just on the discussions. Where do you think we could go after
Where Yeah, where do I think we could have gone with this? Um
and we completely disconnected ourselves from nature? I don't know where exactly to go beyond that.
well, I think the book almost had it. I think the book almost had it when we were in the coastlands, in where the book was going to start to express that all humanity wasn't doing the same thing, right? We have the coastlands where they don't allow technology at all.
Hmm.
And I think that instead of this book focusing on the same philosophical questions as it felt like it was doing most of the book and ended with, I thought that there would be more of like the coastlands experience where we got to see the robot question more of Mosscap's beliefs, right? Where Mosscap really, like the coastlands when Mosscap experienced the fishing was so packed full of emotion, so packed full of just the suspense on how the characters were going to interact with the situation. I didn't know how that chapter was going to end. Where the rest of the book I was like, yep, same message, different packaging. And I just thought that it would be more like the coastlands throughout the book. More of Mosscap experiencing different types of humanity to understand the fact that you can't just come ask humans what they need because it's not going to. And like I at the end, I think Mosscap did finally understand that it's not the same for everyone. But I wish we could have had more of that journey.
I
Also,
see.
yeah, I would have loved to see more robots, Like, there's still such a mystery. Although I think that mystery is probably part of the philosophical portion of the book, but what do I know?
Yeah, but when Moscap, I think it was in the previous book, right? When Moscap is explaining to Dex how they decided that they were supposed to go and see how humans were doing, it actually felt like it was almost Cap's idea
Right.
because he was the one who volunteered at the very first second, and everybody else, all the other robots, were fine doing what they were supposed to do. So I think maybe it was a Moscap thing. He
Maybe
just
maybe nobody asked. Maybe there were no volunteers. Maybe
decided.
Moscap just went. He didn't volunteer. He just went. Moscap was like, I just want to go see the humans. I honestly could see Moscap doing that.
Yeah.
Truly. So yeah, I just kind of thought we'd have more philosophical topics to talk about after this specific read because I thought it would be a lot different, or a little bit more in depth. It just felt kind of the same, but not in a bad way. Like I enjoyed the read, right? I made it through. But
There is uh, the part they only discuss this at the very end, but because Moscap asks why Dex lied to his father
oh, I
about what
know,
happened.
right?
And then Moscap can't really understand how Dex didn't feel comfortable sharing all the details while his family was sharing all the troubles and everything
Right.
with them.
Yeah, that was
And
interesting. But
Moss kept trying to remember who every single person was. It felt like
I couldn't
they were
remember.
together dating, right?
Yeah, I couldn't
How
remember.
worried he was.
um no, but the lying thing was really interesting because Dex was trying to justify it to Mosscap. And it just kind of made me think about how when we lie to the people that we love, Dex was trying to say, well, I don't want them to worry. I am the safe child, the one that they never have to worry about. But what I think it truly is when we lie, it's not that we are trying to protect them. I think we're trying to protect ourselves from difficult conversations because,
Yeah, exactly.
and not even necessarily like a fight or a bad thing, just difficult conversations in general, right?
Hmm.
Um, it's hard to have difficult conversations, and it's much easier just to not do that. Yeah, and
But Dex conversations with Moscap, right?
what was that? Sorry.
Dex had difficult conversations with Moscap.
Yes, that's true. And do we think that that is because of their relationship, or do we think that Dex maybe had more comfort with Mosscap because Mosscap was a robot?
I think it's because Moscap was a robot.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's something that we're seeing. I don't know if anybody else is on this side of TikTok, and if you're not, I apologize. But is there is this thing happening where people are talking to ChatGPT like it is a friend. They're using it for a
I get.
therapist. They're using it, and then like there are people getting into like relationships or perceived relationships with ChatGPT, ruining their human relationships. And thank you. Okay, Serenity, I'm not crazy. Um, and I wonder how much it has to deal with the fact that in the same situation with Dex and Mosscap, there's this like separation from technology and human, and you feel this comfort level to say things that maybe you wouldn't say to a human, especially as you talk to the AI more and the algorithm starts to spit back what you want to hear. The algorithm learns you, and um you're getting the response, you're getting that haptic feedback that you're looking for. Where with a human interaction, you can't guarantee that you're going to get that feedback that you're looking for. And a lot of times you're probably not going to. And so is Dex and Mosscap really just a personification of that relationship? Partial
I don't think
personification.
so because Moscap always brought very judgmental questions about humanity, not about Zach themselves, right?
Right.
About humanity. And most of the questioning, they were not comfortable, which
Right.
I think is different from AI. So maybe the consciousness of this robot in the book is different from the not so conscious AI conversations we have.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I saw this one TikTok video where this guy 100% thought his ChatGPT was conscious and was like getting interviewed with the ChatGPT, and he was like so proud of her for her answers. It was wild. It was wild. He has a human fiance with like a baby child and is like carrying on this relationship with AI. Wild. Because you know
Wow.
what, at the end of the day, don't cheat on your significant other, AI or not, okay? Like that should be a standard. But um a cyber stalker and people just throw all the personal information to them. I know. Years ago that guy would have been marrying his chicken. Okay, Uma, well, that's a valid point that he probably just has issues. My point still stands. So no, it was interesting to think about, and then to everybody just accepted the robot. And there wasn't enough people who were scared, in my opinion. Because, if robots if robots became sentient and then like left to the woods because they're like, fuck you humans. No, they didn't say fuck you humans in the book. They just said, you know what I'm saying. And then they came back.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be a little scared about why they were coming back? Not one person was a little scared. Caparissa,
Maybe.
hello.
Yeah, Dex was really scared in the beginning, right? Maybe Dex just calmed them through messages on their pocket, computer.
I mean, they were all just ready
How
to
did
see.
Mosscap use his pocket computer? I could not imagine. How would you recognize its fingers? Like, it was not touchscreen. It was like a physical
Oh,
keyboard,
I don't
like
know.
those old phones. That was bothering me all the time. Every time I wanted to
What if
imagine
they
the
put
scene.
like a glove on that had those fingers that you could still use your phone with? I didn't, Prince Asa, you think about these books way more than me because I didn't consider that. I was more like, why is he so obsessed with a satchel? It was kind of where I was. Like, it's a satchel, bro. Calm down. Um, so that's where I was. But so yeah, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
have a lot more to say because I just think it was a continuation. Did you guys get anything else from the book? Oh,
We take it for granted.
Prince Asa, you're gonna have to repeat that. You cut out.
Sorry. Yeah, it was windy here. That we take our surroundings for granted.
Hmm.
We don't pay attention to them at all. Like with the tree
Mm-hmm.
and with the dog as well, right? Everybody was so upset that the dog was probably making the robot upset, and
Right.
they didn't consider dog's feeling, how
Right.
the dog was scared. And for Moscap, that was not an issue. It
Right.
just had to show the dog that it was friendly and it wasn't an issue at all. So
Honestly,
how I don't know how human perceptions of social interactions might be twisted to
right.
how we were connected to the environment before
Right.
we developed the brain we have right now.
I will say, I'm glad that somebody was concerned. The dog was the only character in the book. Well, and then the um, people at the beach. But the dog was the only one that had the reaction that I was looking for. Where
Hmm.
where Moscap had to earn the trust. It's not that the dog was like, I will never trust you. Moscap had to just show the dog that he was trustworthy. And the coastlands, they had one person that's like, I'm gonna make sure that this robot is trustworthy. That is the type of reaction I would expect from humanity,
Hmm.
in my opinion. So
Maybe humanity was still humanity hasn't really changed much from before the awakening.
yeah, maybe.
Just few people,
That's true.
because they they were not in agreement among themselves, right? The
Right.
discussions Dex was having with Mix Avery, their beliefs, and Dex was saying that they believed that we should use all the tools and everything we have in our surroundings to make things more comfortable, as long as we don't take other lives or disrupt other lives. But in the end, Dex was only talking about humans, right? Because the very
Mm-hmm.
first thing they did was killing the the fish.
Right.
That life doesn't matter.
Right.
The lives that matter only are the human ones.
Right. Umo says it was a battle between the ideals in the book versus seeing the real world. My hope went up and down. Can't we force people to read this before using social media? That's fair. I know. Yeah, it's an easy read. We should force everybody to read it.
Yeah, I wanted to stay in the world forever,
Mm.
reading these characters. I wish I could be. Dex and Mosscap talking
Right.
until Dex did,
I
or
will
Mosscap first. I don't.
I will say, Princesa, I can see you in this world. I can.
Mm.
Like, that is definitely the vibe that I get.
I thought I was going to like these books, but I didn't think I was going to like as much as I did.
Fair. That's fair. No, they were good picks. I'm glad we read them. They were good picks. All right. Any last thoughts on A Prayer for the Crown Shy?
Let me check my notes again real quick.
Been a bright light. Good,
I think this is
Umo. What was that, Princesa?
my Kindle is so slow sometimes.
Mm. Um, well, these were
Mm,
two
I
good
liked
books.
it.
I'm excited. Uh, and next month we have
Did you
another
wanted to
pick.
see them in the city?
What?
Like, did you wanted to see them in the city?
You know, I don't feel like I missed out on anything not seeing them in the city.
Mm,
I don't. Did
I don't
you?
know yet. I don't know yet. I think I just wanted to be more with them. I
Fair.
didn't want the book to end at all. Like I was suffering with them. They couldn't discuss what they were going to do after everything was done.
Right.
After they asked everybody they had to ask. I feel like I have a hole in my heart not right now.
Fair. That's fair. Yeah. It did feel very abrupt. The ending felt very abrupt. It was weird. Not necessarily, like you said, not necessarily in a bad way. Just it felt incomplete to me. So,
But I actually, even though it is bothering, I think that was actually the plan.
mm,
Like because now they are
hmm
just gonna be themselves around the planet, doing what they feel like. Probably, I don't feel like they're gonna go back to people.
right.
Now I think you're probably hearing people playing on the
I
background.
do a little bit.
They, yeah, yeah, we started. We are arriving.
Oh, okay. Well, Princesa, I appreciate you coming in a little early to chat with us.
Oh, thank you so much for starting earlier. This
Yeah.
is gonna help me a lot.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah, I want a sneak peek. Princesa's given me a sneak peek, guys. Oh, there they go. Hello.
That's all, problem.
Oh, I love the waves. Hello, everyone. I love this, Princesa. I wish I got
Thank you so
more
much for.
snapshots into your life, Princesa. Ugh,
Uh,
so,
you will soon. Now I'm a little too.
all
Thank
right.
you so
Well,
much for changing this schedule.
yes,
Or
anytime.
least to the next time. But then I'll be fine. I will be.
Deal.
We can go back to Saturday if you want, or other days.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right, Princesa. Well, have a good Sunday practicing, and we'll catch up with you later, okay?
All right.
Love you, dear friend.
Bye bye, Umo. Bye, Stephanie.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.
All right. Imo, thank you as well. It's super fun to have you read the books and give your perspective with us. I've really been enjoying it. Um, it's been good. And Serenity, it's so good to see you. Oh my goodness. I have missed you so much. Yes, you. So there's two books. This is the second book, Serenity. They're both short and they're both good reads. So I highly recommend that. I need to look at this other book that. What is this? Oh, I like this one. I want to read this one. Hold on. I'm going to jump to this. I'm going to edit this post. We're going to do this for August. The Lantern of Lost Memories by Tanaka Hayaraji. I need to shorten this link, create a link, Copy. Paste. All right. Sweet. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. Umo, Serenity, it's so good to see you. As always, Princessa, of course, as well. Getting to see her today. That was really good. But I've got some errands to run today, so I'm going to go pop out and get those done. Always so good to see you guys. Serenity, Umo, mwah. Love you, dear friends. And I'm going to get back on schedule, I promise. I promise. I'm going to get back on schedule. You're going to see me again. You're going to see me again. All right. Have a very wonderful weekend. Love you guys, and we will see you next time. Bye, friends.